On this week's episode of the Como 411, our focus is art. Art with your body, art with paper, all the traditional ways that you think about art. I am here today with art teacher from Rockbridge High School, Abbey Gorsage.
Hi.
And I have Abbey here because I didn't know Abbey before this, but I came into Selfie Love one day and I saw the most beautiful cut collage art on the wall. And I said, who is the artist that did this? And they told me, right. And they said, she's local. She's an art teacher at Rockbridge. And so I immediately reached out to Abbey and said, Abbey, could you create a photo from paper of my 4 daughters? And she did that for me. And y'all, it is beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. We all loved it. I posted it on Facebook. Everybody else loves it. Now everybody wants one. Abbey, welcome to
Get
the...
in line.
Right. I love you. Abbey, welcome to the Como 411.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How long have you been teaching art at the high school?
This is year 11 for me.
11 years with high school kids.
Yes.
Yes. It keeps you young, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm sure it does. Mm-hmm. What is one thing that you tell your students when they come in on day one? What is one thing that you wish people knew about art?
I feel like there's a huge misconception that you're either born an artist or you're not. And my students, especially my beginning students, they feel that way walking in the door. Mm-hmm. They're like, I have to take this class to graduate, but I'm not an artist. My mom's not an artist. My dad's not an artist. But art's like any skill. You just need to practice to make progress. If I wanted to learn to play tennis, what would you tell me?
You learn tennis by playing tennis.
Exactly. You learn art by making art. Even if it's really bad at the beginning, you just make and then you get better.
So I just learned something in that little, you're right. Mm-hmm. You learn it by doing it.
Yes.
And we get to learn by doing a little bit today, right?
Yes.
This is the fun part. I'm very excited about this. Okay, so everybody should know that everything that you see on this set, Abbey brought for us. These are all her creations or prints of her creations. She is clearly amazingly talented.
Thank you.
And so I'm a beginner.
Yes.
So what exactly are we going to be doing today?
Okay, so we are going to be doing some cut paper collages. And for this, you can pretty much use anything you want. You can use found papers, which I brought a lot of with me today. So like scrapbook paper. You can even use like newspaper, old book pages, anything you have. You could also make your own papers. So you could paint your papers. You could stamp and print on them and then cut those up.
Look at that artist mind at work. I never would have thought of making your own
paper. Wrapping paper.
Okay.
All of it's good.
Okay.
So I brought a little vase of flowers here for inspiration.
Okay.
Sometimes I find inspiration online. Sometimes I find it in life. I feel like nature's really accessible for a lot of people. It's a good place to start.
Yes.
Pretty easy and straightforward. There's a couple different ways you can begin. Sometimes I'll start with like my main subject. So if I've got one big flower, I'll start with that. And I kind of just piece and layer as I go.
Okay.
You want to give it a try?
I do, but I have a question because you brought this nifty pencil. Do you sketch out first?
It depends. It depends. Sometimes I work really intuitively and I just cut with scissors and see what happens and make corrections. And sometimes if I'm wanting things to be more precise and perfect, I'll sketch first.
Okay. Yes. I'm not going to sketch first.
You're going to do it until...
I'm freehanding, girl. I'm freestyling. I'm freestyling.
All right. Where do you want to start?
Oh, gosh.
What's jumping out at you?
Oh, see what happened when you asked me? Okay, I'm going to start with this one.
Okay, that was actually going to be my suggestion.
I'm going to start with this one.
This is a really good base paper because it's mostly solid, but it's got a little bit of pattern, and that gives you enough room to play with some things.
Okay.
Cut it up. If it doesn't work, you could cut another one.
Okay.
So I would just typically start by kind of creating an overall shape of a flower.
Okay.
And it's just cut paper. It's not perfect.
Okay,
If I wanted a photo, I would take a photo.
I like it. Okay.
And sometimes, too, it's easier to start by cutting yourself a smaller scrap of paper.
Okay.
So you're not handling such a big piece.
Okay. Okay, I'm done. You done?
Yes.
Okay, are we ready for the reveal?
Yes.
Okay, on count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Right?
Right? I know.
I love it. And they're both different. We use the same paper, same inspiration,
Yes.
very different approaches.
Yes.
And they're beautiful.
They
That's what I
are
love about
beautiful.
art.
Thank you for that encouragement.
Yes, of course.
Because I was one of those people.
Thank you for being brave and just jumping in.
Absolutely. So I hope that you have been encouraged as I have been encouraged. Art is for everyone. This, I imagine, could be a really great family activity.
Yes.
Like your kids could get involved in this, get them some little safety scissors and some paper.
Yes.
And have them look at something, get inspired, and go to town. So art's for everybody, guys. So make sure you get out, you indulge in all the art, and stay tuned with us because we have lots more art coming up in this episode.
Happy making.
I don't know that you can mention arts in Columbia without thinking about Orr Street Studios. We are here in the beautiful space that is Orr Street with the new-ish director, Dawn Warren. Dawn, welcome to the Como 411.
Thank you so much for coming and visiting us here at Orr Street. I'm really thrilled. And I'm thrilled with what you're doing with Como 411.
Thank
you. We need to know what's happening.
We do. And we are excited to talk about what's happening right here in this beautiful space. Just walking in here every time gives me this sense of like calm. I know I'm going to see something beautiful, even down to the doors. The doors here are works of art. So tell me, Dawn, how did this space come to be? How did this building come about?
Well, it started with Mark Timberlake, who actually still owns the building.
Okay.
Purchased this building from Walker Roofing, which we still use.
Wow.
For the building. And he and his friend, Chris Teeter, who is an artist, they brainstormed about how they could create something that would really help bring the North Village Arts District up. And this was way back in 2006.
Okay.
They came up with the idea of creating a space that not only has a gallery space and event space, but studios for working artists. And that's what we have here.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So tell me about those working artists. How many studio spaces do you have? How many working artists?
We have 21 studio spaces and we have 26 working artists here currently. And each of the doors, which we can see behind us here, are beautiful pieces of art that were created by Chris Teeter. And he built them on the site when they were making the building happen. So it's pretty cool.
There's a lot of little pieces of history here that we are learning today. We're bringing you the 411 about Orr Street.
Yeah. So a lot of the pieces and increments of the doors are actually from parts of the building that as they were deconstructing and getting ready to build Orr Street Studios.
How perfect is that? Tell us about some of the things that you do that engage the community.
Well, one of the main missions we have is to create an environment where people feel welcome and that they can easily find access to connect with art, whether it is to look at art, learn about art, learn how to do art. Everybody from toddlers on up to as old as it gets here in Columbia, which is, people live a long time here. The space itself, we try to offer affordable, below market rent for each of our studios, and also try to offer our hand and welcome other folks in the community that are doing cool things to come in and utilize our space for the events.
Oh, I know you guys do a lot of events in this space. Things that you all host, things that people can rent the space for weddings and receptions and all kinds of things. What kind of artists do you have in the space?
Well, we really have a big and wide range, everything from digital art, photography, to painting and oils and acrylic. We have people who do assemblage art, people who do other types of digital art. One of the things we're really proud of is a program called the Black Artists in Residence Program. It started in 2020 when COVID hit.
Yes.
So they came up with the idea of inviting people in through a juried process, through a very challenging process to submit their portfolios and then be chosen. Now that has really expanded, especially due to the generous support of Veterans United Foundation. So we're building on that. So this year for Black History Month, we had just an enormous amount of events, and we had a fantastic committee for that. And I have to mention Asia Long. She's one of our Black artists in residence, and I swear she's a superhuman because she's able to do so much. Really something that we're growing.
You are.
And I'm excited about that because we get to use the space for building equity and inclusion and diversity. And as a nonprofit,
Yes.
I think it's really important for us to support others who are doing that type of work.
So a lot of people may not know that you are a nonprofit. Or Street is a nonprofit.
Yes.
But you guys do lots of partnering with the community, but the artists who work in these spaces are for-profit businesses.
Yes, they all are entrepreneurial folks and are online, and they do a lot of commission pieces. They show all over the nation. It's just an important and cool kind of thing to help be an incubator as a way of helping support artists to build their businesses.
Wonderful.
Well, our normal open hours are Thursday through Sunday, 12 to 4. But one of the coolest ways, an entry point, an easy way, is our free First Friday events, which is on the first Friday of every month from 6 to 9. It's just a fun gathering and party. Oftentimes the studios are open, so all the artists are here. And those are great times to come and visit. What it does is it helps us create an environment where our artists are seen, their work is seen. And also, because of our event rentals for weddings, for business meetings and things, that helps us do all the extra things as well as grants. I also have to mention the City of Columbia and the Council for the Arts.
Yes.
They are big supporters of us in everything we do. So, and Veterans United again.
Of course.
Without them, we wouldn't, in the support of the community, we would not be able to do the stuff we do.
Okay, so you heard Dawn. First Fridays at Orr Street Studios is the place to be. It's a great entry point if you wanted to come in, take a look around, meet some of the artists who are here working. I feel like every person in Columbia should make their way down to the North Village Arts District and visit Orr Street Studios. Thank you so much, Dawn, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Adonica, and thank you, Como 411, and thank you, community, for supporting us.
Normally for segments like this, I'm normally wearing a shoe more like this one. But today I'm excited that I got to wear my tennis shoes because we're going to do some art with our bodies. And here to help us with that is Linda Schust from Jabberwocky. Linda, welcome to the Como 411.
Thank you so much, Adonica, and thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here with all of you.
Yes, we're happy to have you. So Linda, tell us, what in the world is Jabberwocky?
Jabberwocky is a nonprofit arts organization that's based in Columbia, and our mission is to build inclusion and equity through the arts and through education.
And Linda, what are some of the programs that you provide?
So Jabberwocky is actually located on the business loop right next to Carpet One, and that's where we have our studio.
Okay.
And we have quite a bit of in-studio programming. We have dance classes, we have tap dance, break dance, hip hop. We do a theater program that's primarily held at our studio, and we have a STEAM program, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math, that's based at the studio. But through the years, we've realized that not only are finance is a hurdle to people participating in our programs, but also transportation is. So we've also moved some of our programs out into the community. So we visit Oakland Middle School and do weekly art classes for English learners there. We have our Art Bus program, which is a partnership with the Columbia Art League that travels 36 weekends a year to different neighborhoods in Columbia that are primarily low-income neighborhoods, and we bring free art projects to the kids that live there. And then we have our summer mural painting program where we work with care interns from the city and our resident artists and create murals in some of the low-income neighborhoods around town.
Wonderful.
Most of our programming is offered completely free of charge to the people that we serve. We have an unlimited tuition waiver policy, so that obviously cuts into our revenues. So one of the things that we're doing, and we're going to be doing on April 15th, is we're holding a speakeasy event at Cafe Berlin.
Ooh.
It'll be featuring the song stylings of Simone Sparks, who is a local celebrity and fantastic. And then another thing we always need, as I said, transportation is a huge hurdle for a lot of the people that we serve. And while we do have a van through the generosity of the Veterans United Foundation, there's a limit to how many people we can transport in that van. So we're always looking for volunteers who'd be willing to maybe pick up a child at their home and bring them to, to programming and then bring them back home afterwards.
Okay, that's wonderful. So you heard Linda, you heard the ways that you as the community, we as the community, can help Jabberwocky Studios transport these children. The speakeasy sounds really amazing.
It should be, I think it's going to be fun.
I want to find my flapper dress and see what kind of mobsters show up. That seems like a good time. That seems like a good time. But I did promise that we were going to do some moving. And
yes,
so
you did.
Are you teaching me dance or?
Oh, no, I'm going to bring in an expert for that.
Okay.
And so that'll be my son, Alex, who actually teaches most of the breakdancing classes at the studio.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to learn some breakdancing or some form of dancing, but we are definitely going to do some art with our bodies here in just a second. Okay, Alex, so what are you going to teach me today?
So I'm going to teach you a little bit of tutting, which
Okay.
is like an arm dance that's all about hitting right angles as much
Okay.
as possible. I've got a little set prepared, basically.
I'm
if
ready.
You just want to jump in.
I'm ready.
Okay, so that's our starting position.
Okay.
It's called prayer position.
Prayer position.
We're going to bring our elbows together.
Okay.
That's step 2.
Okay.
Step 3, my right arm is going to stick out to the side.
Okay.
For step 4, I'm going to take my left arm and push it past my hand.
Okay.
For step 5, I drop down to here.
Okay.
Step 6, I'm going to drop my hand under. This is called the box.
Okay.
It's
The
a
box.
pretty important position for tutting.
Okay.
I'm going to bring my hands together for step 7. Like
Okay.
that. And then step 8, I flip
Flip it
around.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we do that again,
Okay.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is down, 6 is
6,
box, hands
7.
together, flip
8.
over.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right. I got that.
The first move that we do, it's going to take 2 counts. I'm going to turn my hand around so that I'm back in prayer position. And there's not really a specific way to do
There's
that.
no
You just sort of
cute
get,
way to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I got it. I'm there.
And then the next 2 8 counts are bringing up to here.
Okay.
And then 5, 6 is
5,
dropping
6.
to there.
Okay.
And then 7, I'm going to do prayer position again, but pointing down.
Okay. 7.
And then 8, I'm going to rotate one of my hands, doesn't matter which one,
Okay.
up to here.
Okay.
And the idea is that then I could rotate
could go
up,
back.
and on 1,
Mhm.
I'd be back so that I could start the move again.
Okay. All right.
And if you make a mistake, this is a freestyle dance, so you didn't make a mistake.
Okay.
Right?
I love that's even better. That's even better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're ready to do it with music,
I'm ready to try.
cool.
I'm ready to try.
I'm going to let you choose the speed that we go. So we can do,
Or we can go faster.
or we can go faster.
I'm dangerous. Let's go faster.
Okay, cool. 5,
5,
6,
6,
7, 8.
8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Woohoo! Yeah!
Very nice.
Yeah! And then you would freestyle after that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Come on. I want you to
Oh, okay.
freestyle.
Okay, all right.
I know. I've seen you. I've seen you.
So I guess I should try to throw some tutting in there, right?
Because this is what you do when people are dancing. You wait your turn.
Very nice. Very nice.
Old school running man.
That was tight.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for joining us. What an amazingly fun session. Please check out Jabberwocky. Support them in any way you can. What an amazing, amazing asset to our local community.